We are back. We are live. It is Sunday night. And we start with a bit of balancing. Very nice. All right. Sunday night. Craig is hanging out. Sunday night. This is going to be a regular time slot for me going live from now on. 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. I've whacked it on a permanent post segment on my YouTube channel so that there's a regular slot. And I want everyone to know, actually, 1 second, guys. Hey, how are you, mate? Sorry, just had to step out and close the laundry door there so there's a washing machine going so it doesn't interfere too much. Yes, hopefully that answers your question. How you been, mate? All been good? I'll wait for your response. I'm sure that you have been well. I would say I've made a post today on my YouTube page to lock in 7:30 Sunday night as a, hey Emma, how you going? I've made a post to say I'll lock in Sunday night as a permanent live slot. Now, obviously, I've said it before, my friend Candy Coke knows this. You know, you got life, you got family, you got commitments. You know, I go on live when I can. And basically when it comes to people on YouTube, and then I think they want a bit of consistency, so I've decided to commit Sunday nights as a Pokemon. Not too bad at all, Emma. There you go. I've committed to doing a live chat every Sunday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I am from Melbourne, Australia, so that's why it's Australian Eastern Standard Time. So if you want that regular hangout, hopefully we can make, I find Sunday night a pretty good night to do the chat and get a good group of people happening on the Sunday night. So I will permanently do Sunday nights in live situations, and I'll randomly come on during the week, probably 2-3 other times during the week, just to be there. Hey Noob, how you going, mate? Welcome aboard. So Sunday night, Australian Eastern Standard Time. I am Craig. I am from Melbourne, Australia, and I am a very, well, I would put myself in the bracket of a very broad thinking individual. I've always wanted to know more about life, about what makes it all tick. I appreciate you, Fred. No, I thought, look, I will, before I jump into things, I thought I would make one permanent. It's hard, mate. We're all living lives, you know, doing our normal things during the day. But, you know, basically I thought if I've got one time slot a week where everyone knows Craig's going to be jumping on a Sunday night at 7:30, hey, we'll see how that goes. We'll see what type of group we can get hanging out on a Sunday night. All other lives are random, and when Craig finds that he's got a bit of time in his hands, I jump on. Fad Psychologist, my YouTube channel. How are you, mate? Welcome aboard. Shut up, loser. Very good. Welcome aboard. My YouTube page is me talking about how I see life, the universe, and everything. I believe in very broad aspects to existence. I'm very much a person that believes that what we do influences how our lives transform, or for the better or for the worse. So attitude that you have, that you put out there in the world, actually makes a huge difference to Yeah, absolutely. I believe in reincarnation. I believe people have the choice. We as beings or human beings or uh, beings that exist and choose to live this human life or these lives, we live multiple lives. We choose to experience life from many different perspectives and many different aspects of ourselves. So that's something that I've come to a belief in over the years through people that I've got to know through meditation classes, through clairvoyance, psychics, mentors, basically doing things throughout my life where trying certain things to see if it actually makes a difference or whether it has an effect. At the core level, I'm very much a person that believes that what we do, what we put out there, comes back. So if you're a glass half full individual, if you're always trying to see the positive in things, you're probably going to be creating more positive in your life than someone that is always seeing the negative in things. They'll constantly be creating a lot of the negative things in their life, which obviously we want to change. If we're creating too many negative things in our life, we want to take ownership of that and see if we can actually steer the ship in a direction that's a little bit more positive, right? But I don't believe in giving our power away to things out there, right? We all have to discuss different things. No, well, I don't believe in hell either, mate. I think if you believe that, if you think that something negative exists like a hell, well, it might exist for you in the life that you're living. You might be creating a personal hell for yourself. But no, I don't believe in the Christian fire and brimstone place. I'm a big believer that everyone already is a part of the all that is. We're a part of the oneness of life. We are consciousness. We exist. Consciousness exists. It does not dissipate. We cannot disappear. We go on. The Hidden Shadow Dagger, how are you, my friend? Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. So, I look at life in a very broad way, that all of us as individuals have come from the same place. We're all connected. We're all human beings. We all come to the world the same. We're all going to leave the same. So treat each other with the best attitude you can have. So am I, my friend, Hidden Shadow Dagger. I am from Melbourne, Australia. So I'm down in sunny Melbourne, living in the suburbs of Melbourne, mate. What part of the country are you hailing from, mate? From a particular state, or I'm guessing so. But, your attitude, we'll get into it as we go forward. Oh, well, there you go, mate. Welcome, mate. Welcome to the psychologist. Yeah, I'm from Australia. Maybe one day we will. Maybe one day we will, mate. I mean, it's early days. I mean, just for a few that have not. Brisbane, awesome, mate. I mean, you've got to deal with a bit more humidity than us at times. So, I hope you like the old humid weather. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing a little bit of background for you guys. I decided that I wanted to actually put my understandings out there to the world as such. And I was probably 18 months ago, I started posting YouTube videos just on topics and things that I believed in, so people could actually listen to some of the different understandings and things that I have with certain topics. My content, Hincha, is really talking about how I see life working. Like, I come down to I break it down a bit, right? From that, if each person, there's a few ways you can look at life, right? Let's just say this. You either don't believe in anything too much and you think that this life is the only thing that exists, and at the end of it you vanish and disappear and that's it. That might be a bit of the atheist way of looking at life. And then you've got the people that believe in there's a higher power that's actually created us to live here, and we're kind of like puppets a little bit. And a lot of the religious groups believe that, give yourself to God and you'll be saved as such. So we don't have too much say in what's going on. And then there's the other side of the coin, where you have people like myself that believe we are a part of the all that is. We're not lesser than, everyone is equal. Everyone is working at their own level through life. Everyone is experiencing their life at their own pace and their own rate. And you are much, much more powerful than you realize, right? So it's about learning and connecting with the understanding that you create what goes on in your life. You create your own reality. So there's not a being making everything happen in your life. You actually create it all yourself, but you're not consciously aware of it. Some people are. I mean, I have become much more consciously aware of when I act a certain way, I get certain results. Most of us will be creating from a subconscious level, but not consciously, right? So you're doing it and things are manifesting without you realizing that you've actually got a big part to play in this. Yeah, I've got my partner in crime and I've got 2 adult boys, mate. So, yeah, I'm very much a middle-class man, mate, that just has a, how can you put it? I have a drive to understand the truth about life. I had it from a very young age. I don't know where it came from. If something doesn't sit with me, I feel it in my bones, right? Like, I'm very much about trusting yourself, and I say that to everyone else. You know, the one person in life that the one person you know you can trust is you, right? Hard to be exact with my content, my friend. It is just a positive guy talking about how you can transform your life for the better through lots of different metaphysical techniques. Okay, so that's what I'll get into, and you'll get the gist of it as I'm talking, mate. But no, people do ask at times, are you a religious person? No, I'm not. So I'm a spiritual guy. I think that we're all part of the same thing that is existence, and I think we live forever, and I'm a big believer in reincarnation. But it's not just reincarnation. I believe we go on. We can do many, many things. We can go into other existences, right? So I'm not saying, I know I'm not religious, right? I understand religion, and I'm not having a go at anyone that is religious, right? If they're comfortable believing what they believe in that space, that's okay for them. I just don't like it when any particular person tries to jam things down other people's throat like it's the only thing to believe. Please, with everything that I say, absolutely cool, mate. Vegan's cool. Everything I say is take what you like. You know, I put this understanding out for everyone throughout your life, right? I believe you should take what you like, chuck out what you don't like. So if you're listening to someone like myself talking about different ways to look at things, there's probably going to be things that you go, oh, I like the sound of that. That's something I might try. But the other things I'm not too sure about. That's okay. Just because one person says one thing and it works for them doesn't mean it's going to be what you're looking for what you're doing now. We're all on our individual paths in life. We're all going down and experiencing the journey. Life is a journey, right? That's the meaning to life for me, that we constantly want to create experiences to understand ourselves from different perspectives, and we grow from that perspective, right? We can understand and expand on who we are by being able to see life through a different lens, the different lifetimes, you know, different beings, different people, different situations happening. You get to experience yourself from many, many different facets. Now, I think as people wake up in their life, as they mature and they become more connected with, you know, life and the source of life, and you start to feel like, hey, I'm actually, you know, I'm more in charge of this than I realize. I think it's about realizing too that you can learn things, but you don't have to go through hell to learn certain things. You can go through very positive experiences and learn the same thing as you would if you went through it in a negative way. It's a choice, right? So I'm all about helping people to understand, to take their power back, right? To understand that you are in charge of your life. The one person in life that you should be in charge of and that you can change things for and you make decisions for is you. You don't have the right, from my perspective again, to actually try and control anyone else, right? Every single person has the right to be in charge of their own life. And if there's ever a person, if you're in living your life and someone says something where if you don't do this, bad things are going to happen, that's a form of control to try and make you do what they want you to do. That's a red flag. Red flag on the field, right? So you really want to pay attention to what you're listening to and what you're believing as a whole, right? It's about bringing your energy back into your own heart, right? I think the answers to life, the universe and everything, actually we carry them ourselves. There's an individual reason why each of us lives a lifetime, all right? So Craig, which is me, I chose to live this life as I'm now 56, I live in Melbourne, Australia. I've had the experience of being here my whole life and experiencing life through the eyes of Craig, who's a 56-year-old Australian male, right? So that experience I'm learning from, I'm growing from, I'm getting lots of things that are adding to my picture of existence, all right? But you're not going to learn everything from one life, right? You are basically going through and experiencing your life, right? Sweet as, man. You're going through, and 33 is one of my favorite numbers, mate. Good number. Going through an experience in life and the journey. And once you get to a certain point in your life, I think people can actually start to test things out, So I'll get myself on track now. So when it comes to understanding and believing that you create your own reality, is about proving it to yourself. See, I believe it because I've proved it to myself over and over again through many different situations. Always off and on the track, my friend. I don't need someone to say, a person can have an opposite to belief for me. That's okay. That's not going to change how I see things from my perspective because I've proven it to myself. When you get told something and you believe it because you go, that sounds pretty good, it's one level of belief. But to really believe something in your core and never have anyone been able to change that within you, it's proving it to yourself. It's grounding it fully. It's when it becomes real. And someone like me has spent a lot of my life proving these understandings and proving different things to myself. I can tell you, and I've told many people over the last few months especially, different experiences that I've had through my journeys because I've wanted to prove certain things. And when you do prove that something is real, that everyone else is like, that couldn't possibly be real, your mind opens up in a way that you become a different person, okay? You just become more open, right? You allow yourself to know that there's more. We're not just a human being. We're much, much more than that, right? Creating your own reality, and I'm like a metaphysical person. That's the only kind of term I could put to how I see things. But it's that spiritual science. I'm going out there to check things out. I want to know if it's real or not. So what I've discovered over my time of doing a lot of this, you hear a lot of people talking about, I want to change my life. I want to manifest more money. I want to have the right partner in my life. I want to change things for the better. Or, I just want to understand how it all works. There's three things that are very, very important to you realizing and taking charge of creating your own reality. Number one, I won't rubbish around. I'll just tell you straight down the line. ME50, how are you, brother? Welcome. Just so you know, before I say, we are doing Sunday night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time permanently now. Every Sunday night I will do this time slot, and that gives everyone once a week where they know Craig's going to be coming on. So I've just posted that on my YouTube channel, and other lives will be more random during the week when I can squeeze them in, when I feel the need. So number one, when it comes to creating your own reality and realizing it, or what you think actually affects what you create. That's number one. Now, often when you're in a situation in life, you will say something to someone, but you might think something very differently. So it's a hidden shadow dagger. It is, that's all right, brother. It is just about talking about life. The way I see life is that each individual in this world, actually what you do creates what you manifest in your life. So if you're feeling really crap inside, let's say you don't feel good about yourself, you might find that you have situations that manifest around you that aren't so good, that reflect how you feel. If you feel really fantastic and you're happy with who you are and you're full of self-esteem and self-love and you just want the best for yourself, you will create things that reflect that. Life is about understanding, from my point of view, that people do create what goes on in their lives. You create your own reality. What you put out is what comes back. So we talk about those aspects. So I'll get back to what I was saying, my friend. 3 things that actually we all do that actually combine to manifest and create what we have happen in our lives. 1, how you think. Now, before I dive into the other 2, your beliefs that you hold inside yourself. If you believe that you need air to breathe, you need air to breathe. If there was no air, you would suffocate and you would pass out and die, right? Every single thing about life, we have a belief that's locked into ourselves. So if you want to have something happen that is outside what you believe, it won't happen. Now, another person might believe that they're much, much more abundant than you. They deserve more wealth in their life. They deserve more, creation of material things, depending on what their belief is, right? Basically, that's all right, man. You listen away and you see what you like and what you don't like, right? That's how we roll with it. Basically, when you think a certain way, right? When you think a certain way, it often is a thought that comes from your belief. So if you see something happen, but then in your mind, without saying it to the people around you, you go, that's fucking bullshit. That person's a complete twat, right? Because they did X, Y, Z. Because you might have a belief that thinks that about that particular situation. The belief actually instigates the thought. Now, the thought is what the subconscious listens to and creates more of in your life. The only way you're going to change your thought to be more positive in that space is to actually not believe the thing that you're believing right now. Let the maybe limiting negative belief go, acknowledge it exists, let it go, and replace it and say, no, I believe that I deserve more of this in that area, and then you allow more to happen in that space. Your thoughts are number 1. Number 2, well, like attracts like. It's another universal law, my friend. So when vibrations are the same, they come together. Usually your mates are into the similar things to you, and that's why you connect with them, right? Because there's 1 or 2 things that you're actually into. Thank you, Roadstrom. Appreciate that. Yes, and if you want to, blow off some steam and project some negative thoughts out there, that is within an individual's prerogative, right? So the second thing that I believe comes into play when you're trying to create things for yourself consciously is what you say, right? Ever heard the phrase, fake it till you make it? When you say something, your subconscious again hears what you're saying and then wants to manifest more of that. Now, you might not necessarily believe what you're saying. You might be saying, looking in the mirror and saying, I'm a good person, right? And then in the back of your mind, you're going, no, you're not. But to bring up the belief that makes you think that you're not a good person, you need to be doing positive comments. You need to be trying to lift your vibrations so that crap can come out, that those negative thoughts can come out of you, and you can have an opportunity to acknowledge them, move them on, and start thinking better about yourself. So the first thing to do with manifesting your world is your thoughts. The second is your comments. What's the third one, Craig? The third one is your actions. So when you want to change a particular thing in your life, right? Absolutely, mate, absolutely. And if what I'm saying is true, Hidden Shadow Dagger, a positive mind is going to be much more beneficial because then you'll be creating positive. So on the third aspect of creating what you want in your life and changing things for the better, you need to start going towards things through your actions that you really want to be doing, right? So let's say, and I use this analogy and example quite a bit, but it's just about trying to get you guys to understand how it works. When you are doing a job in your life and you don't really like your job, right? It's hard to get there. It's hard to be enthusiastic. I hate my job, blah, 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 blah. And you think, I'd love to be doing a different type of job. Maybe there's things in you that you class as passions, as something that really you enjoy doing, right? Maybe it's just a hobby at the moment. Maybe you're not doing them at all because you don't have any time, right? If you want to get my, well, this is a good year to get your shit together, and I'll go into that a bit after, my friend. When you start to, let's say when you remind yourself of something that you really love personally, it might be something that you're doing just as a hobby on a Saturday morning. And if you're not doing it, you've got to get yourself back into that groove, start to do a few things. If you're spending your life doing a lot of things that you're not passionate about, I would say to you, remind yourself of something from yourself that you are actually passionate about, that actually makes you feel really good, right? Like if you're a person that loves nature, get out there on a Saturday morning and go for a walk in, get yourself over to some bushland and get out there and interact with nature, right? If it's something that you love, because you'll feel better. You'll lift your vibration. Anytime a person lifts their vibration, your subconscious mind, which is the part of your mind that creates your own reality, sees that, hears your thoughts, hears your comments, sees your actions, and starts to create more positive things in those areas. Now, going for a walk in nature mightn't be a job that you can change into, but when your vibration raises, your subconscious also understands that you want more positive experiences in your life. And this can lead to you manifesting opportunities that are more positive, because you're trying to communicate with the part of yourself that knows who you are, right? It talks in images, it talks in reflection, right? Our subconscious mind is listening to what we're doing from this body, from this world that we're in. Our thoughts, our comments, our actions. Those three things are the communication tools that we use to send the message back here to your subconscious mind. Absolutely, mate. See, if they're things that you love, music, getting out there, connecting with the world a bit more from the, energy sense of the planet, just stepping out of the rat race, yeah? Stepping out of the craziness of life, which we all get caught up in because we've got to pay some bills, we've got to get the kids to school, whatever it might be, right? We forget who we are and we start to live this life that isn't always exactly who we should be, right? And who we came here to be. But it's really about, for me, it's about reconnecting with yourself, right? It's about awakening to who you really are. Like, what is it that you absolutely love? When you do this particular thing, you're like, wow, I feel so good and I'm excited when I do it. Well, do more of it, because then you're sending a message to that subconscious mind to create more opportunities in that area. Think about it this way. If it was some type of experience you could do on a Saturday morning and you came together with another group of people that were like-minded and they were into the same hobby or whatever it is, you might find yourself getting to know these people because you're into the same particular thing. You'll get feeling really good about it. Next thing you know, one of the guys that you've gotten to know goes, oh, I've actually got a business that actually does this on a daily basis. I need someone to work full time for me doing this. Interested? Opportunity has been created. Now you choose what you want to accept. Thanks, mate. No, I'm from Aussie, Melbourne, Australia, my friend. Cart Key, how you going? I'll just say Cart Key Pandry. Pandry. Oh, that's a long name. All right, very good. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Cheers. So it's manifesting the world that you want for yourself. It is done on an individual basis. Each of us actually have full control of ourselves. We don't have a control of anyone else. The only way a person would ever have control of someone else is if those people give their power over to someone else and say, here, you do it for me. You know, blah, blah, blah. And look, as I've said before, not a religious person myself. I am a spiritual person, but a lot of religions ask the individuals to hand their power over to a higher being, all right? So then you don't feel you've got any say in what's going on. And for me, that's not so great. That's very making you feel disconnected with life. Jake, how you going, mate? They are all individual opinions, my friend. Not a problem at all. So we've covered the three things: your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Each individual should take ownership of those three things that they do. Now, there's a lot of people that act out in ways that are not balanced and not positive towards other people in society. I'm very much a believer that we've all come into this world the same. We're all perfect sparks of existence, right? We're living a life. We've created this life. We're going through it. We're all brothers and sisters, no matter what race, creed, sex, whatever you want to call it. We're all from the same place. So treat each other the way that you'd like to be treated. What is in front of you, what is in your world, is a reflection of who you are. So those people that come into your world, remember, it is you that is sending a message to yourself. Even if there's negativity going on around you, it is you creating that situation because there's probably a lot of negativity happening inside you. The answer to life, the universe, and everything, for me, is stopping and looking at who you are. All right? If you want to change who you are to another version of yourself that is Craig 2.0, right, blah, 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 you need to accept who you are right now. The only thing that exists is now. Yesterday was the now yesterday, right? The only thing that you know is you're actually here listening to Craig right now. This is it, right? This is the moment of creation now. Who are you in the now? Now, I know that we all look back in our lives, even if we don't, but if we did, it would seem like a quagmire, a quandary of craziness that, you know, you've done good things, you've done bad things, you've done silly things, you've done all types of stuff, right? Too many people have their energy in the past. Too many people can't let go of certain things that they've done. But you did the best you could at the time when you knew what you knew, right? So when you accept yourself, warts and all, and that means everything you've done in the past, you just go, right, I wouldn't be here today in this spot right now if not for every experience that I had in this life to this point. Pat yourself on the back. Be kind to yourselves and accept yourself wholly for who you are, because it's an important thing to grasp and do. Now, if you're having negative stuff come up in your life, right, it's probably because you're holding on to something that you can't let go of. You know, you want to let go of all the energy that you hold on to. When a person has Well, Toaster, I appreciate you, mate, but that is your opinion. So we basically, on my YouTube page, you can believe what you believe, but I don't have anyone kind of preach their thoughts over and over again, because that's not what this is about. It's about talking about an open-minded aspect to looking at life in a different way. So, if that's something that you want to hear, a different perspective of how someone like me looks at life, hang out, no worries, mate. But if we get people preaching all their thoughts over and over again, I have to block them, right? So that's just how it is. But that's no negativity about what you believe, sir. All right. I appreciate your thoughts. Okay, so we'll leave that. The aspect to changing where you are now for the better, basically is the first point to transform yourself and in your life for the better is to know who you are. So when you look in the mirror, you know the person that you are, warts and all. You know what you've done. You be honest with yourself. Be an authentic individual. A lot of people have trouble being authentic. They'll believe something, but they won't actually live it through action, right? Actions are key. This is a physical world that we've created to experience life in. So we have to accept all the things that have happened. We can't keep beating ourselves up for something that we can't let go of. Even if at this point in time you go, but that thing happened and it was my fault and I can't. It's what's holding you where you are. When you don't let energy go, you basically become stagnant. And then not much is coming into your world new, because you're stopping the flow of life. You're stopping the life force energy from actually rotating through. Most people don't hang on, or it's not a blockage when something positive happens, right? When something positive happens, you celebrate, you're excited, and, yeah, they can, mate, and that's fine. I'll say this, my friend, each person is, again, at their own level of understanding. So it's not a blight on that person for believing what they believe. They've got there because that's what they want to experience. To be, truly connected with yourself is accepting others for where they are and accepting their beliefs. My page is designed for me to speak my truth, right? If you like it, you hang out, you subscribe, blah, blah, blah. If you don't, you can move on to a page or someone else that suits what you want to listen to more, right? It's simple as that. We're not here to pick on what people believe or put them down for having that belief. They are going through their existence for themselves to learn what they need to learn for themselves. And does anyone have the right to control what someone else wants to, what they want to experience? I don't think so. Are you Australian opal guy? Love opals, man. And I'm into my crystals and I'm into, fossicking, stuff like that. But I'm not the Australian opal guy. No. This is one of my crystals. I just like wearing my crystals. Read other people's messages, bro. Yeah, it's hard, bro. Like, what do we got here? Let me just zip back, right? Yeah. I'll do my best, mate. Throw another message out to me, mate, if I've missed it. So, yeah, look, guys, it's solely about accepting who we are now. TV show, it's a good TV show. Well, I do watch the Opal Hunters. My apologies, Hidden Shadow Dagger. It's, bloody good show. Love that, right? It's big and it's cheesy, right? Isn't that one of the ones that I say? Now, so when you know who you are, when you know where you are in the now and who you are, that is the point where you can go, rightio, who do I want to be now, right? Where do I want to go? The analogy I often use with this is like setting a road map in Google Maps, whatever, right? Set your maps in your phone and you want to drive somewhere. You've got to start, it starts with It starts, I love American pickers too, mate. It starts with where you are. If you don't know where you are, how can you know how you're going to get to the destination? Because you need to know where you are now before you actually then go to the new destination you want to go to. It's the same thing with yourself. If you know where you are now, you know yourself, warts and all, right? But you want to be more abundant, or you want to have more love in your life, or you want to have this, or you're looking to have this, then you can see what you need to do and start heading towards that, right? It's like, that's where I want to get to. And that version of Craig has this, does this, believes this, understands this. And often, read other messages. I will, man. I will. But if I've missed them, I've missed them. I apologize, right? You actually then know different things you can put out or start to act in a certain way to direct yourself towards the new version of yourself, right? Or then you realize, hey, because I think this way at the moment, that's not assimilating to being that new version of myself. I need to change this. So it kind of gives you the things that you need to start to do to head towards that new version of yourself, or that version that you want to manifest yourself into, right? So it's important to understand what you believe, who you are, and where you want to go. All right. Then it's just taking that path. Then it's just choosing to go in that direction. You know. Basically, attitude for me is everything. Right. Like being someone that most people talk to in my daily life and say, you know, you're always positive, you're always this, you're always that. Positive attitude, I think, lifts opportunities, or more opportunities will come to you or manifest in your life the more positive that you are, right? Because you are sending that message to the part of your mind that is choosing what it's going to manifest for you. And if it hears you being positive in all these areas all the time, yeah, that's the hard thing, man. That's okay, you know. Not perfect. Not a big time YouTuber. Just speaking my truth, guys and girls. Just speaking my truth. So, you know, the positive mind is something you can control. As an individual, you can choose. On Blackfoot, Blood Tribe, First Nations. Smokey, how you going, mate? Welcome. Everyone's welcome here, my friend. And it's, you know, I'm just talking about how I see life, the universe and everything, and putting out my thoughts and ideas on that. So positive attitude is a very basic thing that we can all do. You choose how you think, right? Thanks, man. Appreciate you. We all choose how we think, right? And let's be honest. You can choose to be a prick. You can choose to be an arsehole to people. And I'm sure everyone here has lowered their flags at certain times and acted in ways that when they look at themselves, they'd be embarrassed about, right? But that's the whole thing, right? We choose how we act. We choose what we think. We choose what we believe, right? Your beliefs can be changed at any point in time. I believe that. So we all need to kind of have a look at who we are, analyze ourselves a bit in the now. You're not going to go back. I'm not going to go back over my 56 years and go through all the things that have happened. I have to accept myself now, bang. I can't help McStay, mate. Is he struggling? Oh, apologies, Fred. He needs to just harden up, you know. For those who aren't aware, Mr. Bloggs is talking about Aussie rules football. Yeah. So when we have that going forward, when we have the right attitude, when we take ownership of what's going on in our heads, what we're saying, those basic two things will start to transform what reality you see around yourself. I mean, I believe there's the 3-step process for me, where it's your thoughts, your words that you say, and and basically your actions that you follow through. See, if you want to ground something in this reality, you've got to have action, right? First 2 steps are your thoughts and are your words, right? But the actions ground it. So those 3 things are things that you want to start to take and well, that's very negative, my friend. I mean, I've had my earrings since my younger sister smacked them through my ear one night before I went out in the town. So, cheers to it. Old heavy metalist, mate. That's me. And I wear a gold one and a silver one because that represents masculine energy, feminine energy, yin and yang, the balance of life. I haven't said that before, but that's why I wear one of each, because gold represents the masculine energy, silver represents feminine energy, for those who are unaware of that. Snow the Squirrel, how are you, mate? Welcome. Yes, but that's all right. So, attitude, right? I want to hone down on that tonight. It's your attitudes, right? It's I'm a big believer that one person can change the world. I think all of us individually, if we were to take ownership of our own space, you then transform your own world into a more positive reflection for yourself. And then the people, your friends, your family, all that start to see how you've transformed things. And then you're actually teaching them through your actions, right? When a person takes ownership of their life, right? It's empowering, right? It's empowering. And when you start to see the things in your life, the things around you change for the better, you are proving that you create your own reality. That's right. And if you do bad actions, they have bad consequences. Thanks, mate. They really do. And, we have to own our bad actions too if we do them. Because you can't move past something if you don't accept it. Right? If a bad thing happens at the time and seems really negative and really bad, a lot of time people will just bottle that up and they won't be able to deal with it because of what's happened right there. But if they're able to step back, take their life into a broader perspective and say, you know what, maybe there's something, this is going to take me to an understanding of myself and my life in a much broader sense, it could turn that situation into a positive in the future. But it's about being able to look at life in a real broad perspective. And I think that's as you start to really connect with your own life, that you actually have more say in it than you realise. That's when you can get confidence when no matter what happens, hey, this is obviously going to eventually turn to something good for me. So I've gone through it for a positive reason. Even if I might not see it right now, the positive in it, I know that it will happen. That this will lead me somewhere which is going to be even better for me and what I want to actually experience in this life. Unitarian. No, because I'm not really 100% sure what that is, but no, I am not. That's right. Every day is a learning curve. Every day is an experience. Every day is a day where you have an opportunity to expand and grow and see yourself in a more positive way and actually help to reflect your own vibe, your own existence for people around you, that they go, geez, such and such is really seems things are really on top, really working out for them. What are they doing? And then conversations can happen amongst your friends. Oh, well, I've been really focusing on me. I've been really working on how I think and what I say and what my actions are and what I believe what I put out is what comes back, and things are really starting to turn around for me. You're never too old. Exactly, mate. You're on the path, man. I mean, life's a journey, everyone. Now, people can be really negative about it and people can be really positive about it. And, the ones that are really negative, they're just not ready to hear it in a lot of cases. You can get caught on the hamster wheel of life, everyone. That's, and negative things happen. And the person will keep on, life's crap and and everything always crap that happens to me. And because this belief is is strengthened in their own belief system and their mind, their higher self keeps on, their subconscious mind keeps on creating more situations that are negative. We have to get off our own hamster wheel. We have to try and realize and come to an understanding that you make everything happen in your life, right? Here's a little technique that I try sometimes. Like if someone delivers something to your house, might be a package, whatever, and someone comes right up to your door and says, oh, here's your package. When you accept the whatever it is off them, thank them in a really positive way. So go over the top a bit. Thank you so much for bringing this up the door. You know, a lot of people just dump it at the gate and there's always a chance someone's going to pinch it. I really appreciate you for bringing this up here. Thank you so much. They will not, 99% of the time, that person will not be told things like that on a daily basis. And they'll either be, oh, no, thank you. And I appreciate you too. It's almost like you're lifting them up with your higher vibrational comments. You're being extremely positive, right? It's about testing the water for yourself, right? Come to these understandings yourself through your own actions, right? These people that you interact with, it is you creating that situation to have that reflection for yourself. Every single person's doing the same thing. People get trapped on the hamster wheel of negativity. Step off that hamster wheel and all right, thank you, sir. You keep existing. You know, basically when a person comes into your world, try and be the most gracious, positive person you can be for that individual that's come up. You might not know them for a bar of soap. If you do that, watch how they respond to you. Now, there is going to be one or two things that will happen. They'll respond to you in an extremely positive way themselves, or they'll be a little bit embarrassed and not know what to say, but you'll sense it, right? When a vibration is up here, right, when you've got a high vibration and you have someone come into your world where it's a low vibration, when vibrations come together, they will become the same. Either the high one will drop to the low, or the low one will drop to will lift up to the high, right? If a person, as an example, right, if a person says something really negative, what if someone is unpleasant to you? Yeah, this is what I was just about, you read my mind, Kanye. When a person is really aggressive or negative or has an attitude towards you at some point and they carry on, most people will think, I've got to defend myself here, right? And often an argument ensues because you come back to defend yourself. But when you stay high, when you stay positive and you don't come down to that gutter level, right? You know, and you hold your comments high, one or two things will happen. They either, because they're not getting what they need, because they're trying to dump on you with their negative comments, and they want someone to interact with them so they can unload their whatever it is, whatever rubbish is they're carrying. They're looking for someone to unload on. If you don't come down to that low level, they can't unload on you. So they either have to choose to be calm and be more positive and stop acting like that and lifting up to your level, or they will leave. They will find someone else that is at a similar level. You have to stay. This is why beliefs in yourself, if you come to the point where you're very, very positive and you know you believe in who you are and you believe in what you think and all the positive things that go along with making up who you are, when someone says something that's really negative, and it happens here on the lives, right? The last person there was being a bit cheeky and threw out a couple of comments, and he's trying to get me to bite, right? Now, I'm a 56-year-old Aussie who's worked on so many different jobs over my life. It's not funny, with tradies, with business people. I know all the lingo, right? I'm not going to get sucked in by anyone, to be honest, and I'm not going to play those games because I actually know that person is going through some stuff, right? Their life has been hard to a point in certain things, and they want to knock a few people down. It makes them feel good for a short time, and then that person goes off and tries to do it to someone that lets them do it. It's a sad situation, right? But you can settle any aggressive situation by staying true, by staying kind, by staying high. You know, I've worked in the retail environment over the years, and as one of the things that I've done, and we've had aggressive people come in and want to kind of get you to respond in that way. And I've tested things so much with at times that where I'll say, no worries, sir, it's all right. I'm going to sort your problem out. Now, if an aggressive person comes in with a problem and they're screaming and carrying on, and you say to them, we're going to sort this out for you, they calm down. Because you're not responding with, we're not going to help you, mate, you're acting badly, that will just encourage more of this. You're actually saying it's going to be okay. And that's one of the things that you're coming at it from a much more positive perspective, and then they calm and they lift up and they're like, okay, no problem, sorry for that. And and then they get themselves out of that low vibration, that negative attitude, right? It's reading the room. It's not inflaming a situation. It's being understanding and saying, I'm here to help you. We can get to the bottom of this. I know one story about a couple of young people where one was being bullied and another one was being quite aggressive. The bully was being very aggressive, and the other one that was being bullied said, is everything okay? Like, I hope everything's okay. And the bully kind of softened, and eventually they became really good friends. And it turned out the bully had a lot of issues at home. So staying at a high level and not getting down there and mixing it with their issue is how you bring someone out of that. Tell them that it's going to be okay. You can talk about it. We don't have to be crazy with each other. We don't have to fight. Let's all, try and help you work through it. We don't know what each person goes through in their lives. None of us know what each person experiences in their own private world. Even with some of your best friends, they won't tell you everything that's going on in their life. And that's right. Sometimes you have to match them. And that's, look at the thing that happens out there with war with these countries. It's usually a couple of people in power around the world that just can't agree, and they make everyone else go to war for them. It's horrific. It's the ultimate control. It's the ultimate power play, right? And the people of this planet eventually are going to take back their power. Eventually, as a whole, I hope in my heart of hearts that we basically all become equals in the decision making of our world, right? And that we don't give our power away ever again to a small group of power hungry people that trick us all into believing that giving them that power, this small group, that's the best way to go, right? Because we all don't want to make decisions. We don't want to take ownership of our lives. There's definitely, there's something to say about all that type of stuff, right? Life's what you make of it, everyone. Life is what you make of it. Make it good. You don't have to go through hell to learn the things that you want to learn. And if you're confused about who you are, look, I do talk about meditation a lot. Better than raising your voice. Look, I grew up in the generation where there was no talking. It was like you did something wrong, you get the strap, right? And, communication is something that, we all need to do more of, right? We're not stupid people. We're intelligent beings. We can all have a conversation about things. We don't have to act like Neanderthals. We can take ownership, and we can actually sit down with people that have got an issue, and we can talk it through. We can help each other, but we have to start to see each other as equals. We have to start, wanting to connect with our family, our friends, our neighbours, and again, make everyone feel a part of everything, because we all are. We're all a part of life. We're all just as important as one another. Like, when did just because you have more money than someone else, hey, Money Moonbeam, how you going? Just because, you have different levels of society, when did that make a difference to how we treat people. I mean, it's ridiculous. When you actually think about, oh, I've got more money than you, so that makes me so much better. It's not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. And, I think transforming the world again comes from each individual taking ownership of how they act and wanting to be better within themselves, right? I think that the collective on this planet, my own thought is that the collective, we're going through a real vibrational change on this planet. I know that many people don't understand what that means, but, human beings, we run behind the physical, we are made up of vibration, okay? We are energy beings, let's say that. I don't know how else to call it. Our soul, our spirit, our being that exists and goes on, it's energy, it's vibration. And the earth is a massive vibrational being, and the trees are a particular vibration, and the rivers and the animals, and everything's vibration, right? We need to take ownership of the fact that we're all connected. We're all one. We need to treat everything as connected to us. It is an extension of ourselves, right? The world, the existence, the universe, the whole lot is an extension of who we are. It's amazing, but we need to stop, mistreating ourselves. We need to work from the heart again. We need to have a really good look at ourselves. Like, one of the things that I say to everyone is, once you bring your energy back into the now, once you agree or you think, yep, I create my own reality, this is the only thing that exists is now. So right now, I'm a good person. I'm gonna, do the best I can. I wanna X, Y, Z, create this, create that. You need to basically look yourself in the mirror and be authentic and be honest about yourself. If you're not being honest with yourself, you're not living authentically, right? You first have to, because the only person in this life that you can't lie to is you, right? You can lie to every single other person that comes into your world, but the one person you can't lie to is you. When you tell a lie inside your head, you know it's a lie, right? So you want to be authentic. You want your life to transform for the better. You need to be authentic. You need your thoughts and your comments and your actions to all line up. You need to live what you believe, right? Desi, how you going, mate? It's living what you believe for me. It's being your authentic self. It's being a positive thinking person, making sure that your thoughts that you're putting out there, your thoughts that you're thinking, it's that they're as genuine as you can be, right? It's not. Those things are within your control, all right? Those things, the way you think and the way you act, they are within your control. You want to transform your life for the better, take ownership of what you're putting out, because what you're putting out is what is coming back, right? And like I've said a few times already, those things you can test. Those things you can test for yourself, right? In life, there are lots of different things that you can test to see if they're real, right? I'll tell you a story, and I've told this story a number of times, but I'll tell it again now. So when I was younger, one of the things that I discovered when I was first going to a meditation class and really connecting with myself in a way I hadn't done before, I'm in my class, or the meditation class leader basically said, isn't that karma? No, karma's a belief in the psychic world that's kind of old school. You don't have to play the game of karma, all right? You don't own. If you believe in karma, hey, Jade, how you going? If you believe in karma, karma will exist for you. But I suggest you don't believe in karma. Step out of that and start to own the fact that you create your own reality. Karma was another belief that was created by big groups of people back in the day. So, yeah, when it comes to what happened, I want to tell you this story. I found out about out-of-body experiences. People said, people have out-of-body experiences and they leave their body and they experience what it's like to be outside the body. And I, as a young 20-year-old, 21, whatever age I was at the time, was like, bullshit. That's not something that people do. And a few people in the class said, yeah, it is something that exists, and there's people that say they do it and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, one of my mates that I had at the time bought me an out-of-body experience book, a book that spoke about how you can do certain techniques, meditation and thought, mind techniques, to actually bring on the separation of the energy body from the physical body. And I said, right, well, if I want to know if this is real or not, I have to know. Like, I have to know whether this is real, because if it's real, I know 100% for myself that we go on. I won't know what we go on to, but I'll 100% know that we live on past this life, right? So I took on this technique. It was called in the book concentration of will. And this technique was thinking the same thought over and over in your mind while you're relaxed, to bring on vibrational shaking within your body, which was the separation point where, in fact, you could then step out of your physical body. Sounds crazy as hell, right? And the fear that you feel in those situations is unprecedented, right? Because you are experiencing what it's like to die. That's what you are experiencing. If you decide to try that, that's what you will be experiencing. So anyway, after a week or so of doing the meditation technique, laying in bed and saying the mantra in my mind, about a week or so, the vibrations started to come on inside my body. So it was like a shaking. It was like my physical body is laying there, and inside was like, and I could feel the shaking inside the physical. Crazy feeling, right? Seriously crazy feeling. So basically, after doing that for a few more days, the vibrations got to a point where they were like, they were vibrating that fast that it was just still, but it was like a sound. It was like meep. It was like it was that was the point, and because I was checking the book the next day, that was the point where they said you could separate from your body. So then the next night, I got back to that same point. I thought, okay, now I'm going to try to move my arm. I'm going to try and separate, and tried a few things. Couldn't get anything to happen. The arm would move, and I'm, oh, damn, like, what's going on? Anyway, did this for 3 or 4 more nights. Then I got to a point where I would hold my awakeness in my mind. I was relaxed, the vibrations were happening, and I was conscious. But then this particular night, I dropped off to sleep. My conscious mind, I kind of lost that level of holding it, dropped off to sleep, and then it felt like, bang, I was awake a second later. When I consciously came to, I had my eyes closed, and I'm thinking, hang on a second, I'm sitting up. And I felt really like, wow, I'm feeling a lot of energy. Like I was feeling really, really alive. And I couldn't understand that. And then I've opened my eyes and I've looked at my arm, and it's like vibration blue. It's just electric blue energy. And I'm like, holy, to myself, obviously, holy moly, and I'm looking at my torso and it's all vibrating blue energy, but I felt about 1,000 times more energy or power than I'd ever felt in my life, right? So, and I was young, 21-year-old, 22-year-old, basically, you're hitting the prime of your physical life. This was 1,000 times easy, more power than you've ever felt in your life. And I turned around, and basically saw my physical top half of my body laying on the bed. I realised I was sitting up out of my physical body. Now, I didn't do that to prove anything to anyone else. This was 35 years ago now, right? I did that to prove that there was more to life than just the physical, because I didn't believe it. So when I found the techniques in that book to do it, I thought, right, I'm going to try it and see if there's something to it. So as soon as I was sitting there, as soon as I realised I was sitting up out of my body, my brain went, holy crap, will I be able to get back in? And this huge wave of fear came over me, and instantly my energy body just went back, settled into the physical. Everything was pins and needles for a minute, and then settled down, and then I was fully back in my body. It was one of the most mind-blowing experiences that I've had in my life to date. And if you're a person that goes, you know what, I want to know whether there's more to life than just this life, that is something that exists. You can do it. There is an institute in America. It is called the Monroe Institute. It is a university where people go to learn how to do out-of-body traveling. The founder of that institute, his name was Robert Monroe. He wrote a book. It's called Journeys Out of the Body. Amazing, amazing book. I highly recommend reading that book and understanding more about that part of us as beings, as who we are. There's more to us as humans than we realize, and I fully believe that, right? Life is about getting out there and experiencing it and growing from it and learning from it. That's what we're here to do. You don't have to get to any point in your life where you've achieved enough. Hey, I've made it. I'm the best. I've got here. No, there's no such place. You're already there. You are immortal. You live forever. You go on. You are a part of the great all that is. We are all a part of that. We are part of existence. Consciousness and thought exists. It doesn't disappear. It is a life understanding. We never vanish. We are all that is, right? And it's something that individuals come to that understanding when they start to experience those things in their life. They start to test the waters, prove things to yourself. Don't just accept the general public or the religious group saying this is how it is because it says it in a book. Get out there and get into life. Enjoy your life. Do the things that you're very passionate about. Do the things that excite you. Be the person that you've always wanted to be. Don't be someone that is just being this particular type of person because everyone expects you to be that. Find your unique self again and be that person. Be that spark of love and light that we all are. Be the unique individual that we all are. I'm blown away at how many people ask me about my 2 bloody earrings. I've had them since I was 18 years old, and they're in my left ear because when you look into a camera, it reverses you. So they're in my left ear, right? But I'm amazed at how many people are interested in that shit, right? Live your lives for you. Live from the heart. Be the best version of yourself you can be. Don't worry about what other people think. If you're treating people in a positive way, if you're treating everyone with respect and love and joy, and you just want the best for everyone around you, for your friends and family, and that's how you treat everyone around you, you're not doing anything wrong. There's no place you've got to get to where... Thanks, Ginny. There's no place we're going to get to in life that you've achieved everything. You basically, you can keep on experiencing life from many, many aspects and many places, right? And I say to all of you, be brave, and enjoy life. Just get out there and be the best version of yourself you can be. There are going to be people that want to shoot you down. There are always going to be people that think that it's funny to, knock other people down when they're speaking their truth. But the reality is they're just afraid. The reality is that they're just fearful of who they really are because they've never been raised to believe in themselves. And I hope the best for them. I mean, I really do. I hope the best for people that think like that. But it's a journey. It's their journey, and they have to go through that journey. So, just be the best version of yourself you can be. Be a positive person. Be a caring person. But firstly and foremostly, care about yourself. make sure that you got your own house in order before you start even thinking about anyone else, because the reality is that it is truly, your life is just about you, right? And on that note, I want to say Craig's World rocks. I hope that all of your worlds are rocking like mine. I know that they are. If you like the way I talk, always remember to like and subscribe. From now on, I will do Sunday night, 7:30 Australian Eastern Standard Time. It'll be a permanent time slot, so everyone will know that at least on this one time slot, Craig will be there, and we can chat away about how to try and be more positive in our lives together as a group. I hope to keep growing the family. I hope that more of us are wanting to transform our lives for the better. Don't just be a sheep and follow. Be your unique selves. That's what the world needs. The world needs us to truly believe in who we are as individuals and be that version of ourselves. There's nothing wrong with you. All of you are perfect as you are, but you're just not seeing yourselves in that way, in a positive enough way yet. Believe in who you are. Self-esteem and self-worth is where it starts. Don't worry about the crap that other people say. They're talking about themselves. Focus inward. Look at yourself, believe in who you are, and I wish you all a very, very happy week coming up, and I hope that all these things transform and become better for you all. Glass half full attitude's the way to go. Craig's World rocks, so does yours. We'll see you all again soon. Stay positive, everyone. Take care, everyone. All right, bye.